Frieda and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to do hard cooked eggs or hard boiled eggs in the pressure cooker. This is one of my favorite ways to cook hard boiled eggs. Why? Simply because they are cooked to perfection. The egg whites are very tender, not rubbery, and they are so easy to peel. So let me show you how I do my eggs. First, if you ask anybody how they cook their eggs, they're going to tell you lots of different times. They may say, I cook my eggs 4-4-4 or 5-5-5 or even 6-6-6. What this means is the first number is what the egg is cooked at high pressure. 4 minutes would be 4 minutes at high pressure, and then the second number is the egg being cooked at the natural release, which should be 4 minutes after the cook time has finished. Then the last number is how many minutes the egg is sitting in an ice water bath. So 6-6-6 would mean 6 minutes at high pressure, 6 minutes in a natural release, and 6 minutes in an ice water bath. I have tested a few of my eggs, and there are so many variables to cooking a hard cooked egg. One is the age of the egg. Another is the size of the egg. What is your altitude? What is the size of your pot? How much water are you using? What is the temperature of your water? There are so many variables, but if you take the total cook time, which is the actual timer that you set for your eggs, plus the natural release, you're going to get the very similar number of anywhere between 8 and 12 minutes. That even includes the 2 minutes at high pressure and letting it sit on its own until the pin drops, which is about 10 minutes. So anywhere between 8 and 12 minutes is the overall cook time of a hard-boiled egg. Now, the cook time is also going to depend on what kind of texture you like your eggs to be at. Do you want them to be smooth and creamy, or do you want the yolk to be a little bit more firm? It's entirely up to you. What you're going to have to do is try a few eggs at a time, maybe 3 or 4 eggs, set them on your trivet with the water underneath, and practice testing your eggs with a certain time, starting with maybe about 4 or 5 minutes. Now, what I'm going to do is show you how I do my eggs. It's really quite simple. I have my Instant Pot here with my trivet. Just set that in there. I have 1 cup of tap water. It's not hot, it's not cold, just regular tap water. Then I like to use these cardboard egg cartons because it keeps my eggs all uniform. It keeps them from bumping into each other or possibly cracking. Sometimes you might have a crack, and now there's a lot of theories about why eggs may crack. One is sometimes there are hairline fractures just from the transportation of the eggs. Another thing could be the diet of the hens, just have a lack of calcium in their eggs, which create a thinner shell. Now, you have 2 choices. You can use manual or high pressure or low pressure. I like to use low pressure, which is at a lower PSI and takes a little bit longer to cook your eggs, maybe like a minute. This creates a more tender egg white. So these are straight out of the refrigerator. I put them in my carton. You'll notice that I'm turning the eggs upside down or the other direction. What this does is help center the yolk. I'm going to do 1 tray of these eggs. You can completely fill them full and then even do a second tray and stack up to 24 eggs all in 1 pot. So this is a great way to do a big batch of hard-cooked eggs for a gathering when you're making stuffed eggs or deviled eggs, or even for Easter, which is coming around the corner. So I've got all my eggs in here, and I'm going to place it inside. Take my lid, plug in my pressure cooker. Okay, this is how I'm going to select manual, and it automatically defaults to high pressure. So I'm going to select pressure, and that changes it to low. I don't want to cook my eggs for very long, so I'm going to hit the minus button until it stops at 6. 6 minutes is where I like to start my eggs. I have about 1 minute left on my hard cooked eggs, and it took about 6 minutes for it to come to pressure. They will start at 6 and then start counting down during the initial cook time. What I'm waiting for now is for the pressure cooker to beep, signaling that it is finished cooking, and it will turn to 0, 0, 0. Now the timer is going to start counting up. This is called the natural release time. The pressure has stopped in the pressure cooker. The temperature is still the same, but the pressure will continue to drop over time. What I want to do right now is set my timer for 4 minutes and then come back and to show you how I do quick release. Okay, now my Instant Pot has been releasing pressure naturally for 4 minutes. So what I want to do is take this, turn it around so I can release the steam using a pair of tongs and keep the steam away from my cabinets. Since it's using low pressure, it's not releasing a whole burst of steam. Using low pressure is a more gentle way of cooking. It's great for cooking eggs, delicate veggies, and fish. My pin has dropped, so now I can open up my pressure cooker. And get my ice water bath ready. And take my eggs out using a pair of tongs and quickly put them in the ice water bath. You want to stop the cooking as quickly as possible. Just take your tongs and get all of your eggs out and immediately put it in an ice water bath. The nice thing about using this egg carton is it doesn't lose its shape, and you can let it air dry and use it again. Keep your eggs in the ice water bath for at least 15 minutes. This will completely cool the eggs. If you only let it stay for maybe 5 or 6 minutes, it will partially cool the egg, and it can continue to still cook, and you can get that green ring over time, even in the fridge. So keep this in here for about 15 minutes. And then start peeling it. Bring it up here closer. You can see it's just coming off in just large chunks. It's easier for me to peel this under running water, so there's not any of the little cracked egg bits in there. You can see how nice and smooth this egg is. So perfect for making deviled eggs. Now we're going to check and see what it looks like inside. Make sure there's no pieces of eggshell in there. I'm going to take my knife and cut it. It's so tender. And look, it's perfect. There's no raw egg yolk in the middle, and it's perfectly creamy and smooth. And these egg whites, look how tender they are. They're not rubbery. They're perfect. Okay, now you've cooked your perfect, incredible hard-boiled egg in the pressure cooker that is so tender and creamy and easy to peel. Now, how do you store your eggs? There's a couple of ways of doing it. If you peel your eggs and store them in the fridge in a covered container, you will want to put water over it and make sure that it stays covered, and this will keep for up to a week in the fridge. I prefer to keep my eggs in the shell and put them in the carton, but I want to mark them to make sure they're not confused with the other eggs. Just simply put an X or a smiley face on them. And they will keep well in your fridge for up to 2 weeks in the shell. So, what are we going to do with your eggshells? There's a lot of things you can do. If you have chickens, feed them to your chickens. You can put them in your compost. You can add them to your tomato plants for a calcium boost. You can sprinkle them into your garden. So there's some uses for your eggshells. So try doing hard-cooked eggs in your pressure cooker for the best egg that you've ever had.